Hello and welcome to the Election Corner on One Man Think Tank. Today, we actually have a real 2020 Senate map from yet another political map simulator, so I'm not going to miss the opportunity to make one of these that actually looks good as opposed to the hodgepodge I threw together a week or so ago. Now, let's start off by doing the safe seats, and then I'll give you the full statistical breakdown of where we're at. So, Democrats have control of the West Coast, a good chunk of the East Coast, Colorado, and Illinois, bringing them up to 45 seats. Currently, they control 48 seats in the Senate, meaning they need two more to take control of the entire body, given the fact that the vice president is currently expected to be Kamala Harris, a Democrat. I will leave the two Georgia races as blank due to the fact that right now both of them in practice are toss-ups, and any calls I make will not be long-lasting. So Democrats in total need to gain 2 seats to get to 50, but as you can see, they currently have only 45 safe seats. Republicans, on the other hand, currently hold 50 seats in the Senate, while they can be expected to have safe seats across the board in Indiana, Kentucky. Some seats we saw as competitive in this last election are not this time, and they are expected to have 44 safe seats total. Right now they have 50, meaning they, in this scenario, need one more in order to take control of the Senate. If they win Georgia, they will need to just hold 2 seats, essentially, and they will win. Well, they'll need to hold all of their seats. They can't lose 2 seats. But here is our map as it currently stands. Alaska, Arizona, Nevada, Florida, North Carolina, Iowa, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and New Hampshire. Now, I will go left to right, and we'll just knock them all out. So let's start with Arizona, which is likely Democrat. Now, New Hampshire is an interesting one. New Hampshire, for lack of a better term, is a state that is a red mark in a normally very blue section of the country. But they seem to be separating at the federal and state level. At the state level, they are pretty regularly electing Republicans. They broke this trend in 2018 by electing a full slate of Democrats, only to return to form in 2020. However, in 2020, all of their federal representatives were Democrats, indicating Democrats are likely to hang on to the seat, especially with their incumbency bias. However, there is a chance the incumbent governor, Chris Sununu, could run. If he does, this race will become much more competitive, or if a particularly popular Republican is found. However, that is unlikely, but for right now, the race could be competitive, hence it is likely. Down to Pennsylvania, where the incumbent Republican is actually retiring, meaning it's a good chance for a Democratic pickup, and I think Pennsylvania is actually likely to go for the Democrats, given how 2018 went, 2020 went, 2022 is likely to go the same, with Democrats picking up Pennsylvania with a solid chance to. It doesn't help Republicans that there is not a very solid slate of state legislatures or House legislatures they can go to pull out to run in this race who would have noticeable popularity to win the seat. Next we have North Carolina, which has another Republican incumbent retiring, this one a tad marred by scandal. However, in a state that Democrats have done very well at making narrow, however, Republicans have been pretty frequent at winning it. As such, North Carolina will be leans Republican. Skipping over Georgia, Florida has the incumbent Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio is considered one of the more moderate yet prominent GOP members and is a perennial candidate for the presidency, with many viewing him as the new face of the GOP, which kind of got roundly beaten by Trump. However, he is likely to hang on to his seat, which makes the seat likely. However, a strong Democratic challenger could put Florida into a very competitive position. Wisconsin is a similar seat in the sense of there is a Republican incumbent in a very blue area, so the same thing as Pennsylvania or New Hampshire. However, in this case, there is actually a Republican incumbent who, while he said he's going to retire, the candidate in question is Ron Johnson, he has not actually taken steps to retire and has kind of walked it back so he could run again. However, Wisconsin has shown to be a very blue state, 2016 notwithstanding. As such, I am going to put it as tilt blue, a pickup for the Democrats. Iowa has Chuck Grassley. Chuck Grassley is one of the longest-standing members of the Senate and is currently the Senate pro tempore. There was some strong belief he was going to retire due to the fact that if he was reelected this term, he would finish at the age of 95. Not to mention he got coronavirus. However, he has indicated he may very well run again. As such, I'm going to be putting this as a likely state for right now, and even if he wasn't running, this would still be likely Republican. Now, some good news for the Democrats. In both Arizona and Nevada, they have Democratic incumbents in states which at the federal level, at the very least, have been very blue, and Democrats have won with at least 3 points in every election since 2018 at the federal level, but also Nevada since 2016. So they have incumbency bias in both, and a strong Democratic headwind in both states. As such, both will be likely until we get some further polling data from those states. And lastly, we have Alaska with Lisa Murkowski, an incumbent who has never been exactly on the best wishes of Republicans or Democrats. And she now faces ranked choice voting, where she is a strong meet-in-the-middle type candidate, so she could benefit from this. However, it does open up room for Republicans to challenge her from the right, and Democrats to challenge her from the left/the center, indicating an independent, if the race breaks the wrong way for her, could end up winning if she ends up in the bottom of the pack. But for right now, we can still expect strong Republican turnout for the state. As such, Alaska will be likely Republican, thus leaving Democrats with 50 seats and Republicans with 48, meaning, depending on how Georgia could go, we have a margin of error of about 2 Senate seats, either resulting in a 50-50 Senate or a 52-48 Senate. Either way, Democrats are favored to pick up the body. So with all that being said, if you liked the video, drop a like down below and also leave a comment. If you want to hear more from the channel, click the subscribe button and the notification bell to be alerted when new content is released. If you want to hear more from me outside of YouTube, I do have a Twitter at OneManThinkTan1, the Roman numeral, link down in the description below. Otherwise, as always, have a wonderful day.